Guys, welcome to my channel and today's video. If you're new here, my name is Ashley. I'm a homeschooling mom to 3 kids and we've been on a bit of a break for the past 3 weeks. My husband and 2 of my kids all have birthdays within weeks of each other. We had family in town, we had friends in town, and so we took some extended time off that wasn't initially planned for, but we are ready to get back into the flow of school. So I need to get us back and reorganized. I have some curriculum changes I made. My kids are just finished up, actually today is their last day in their co-op semester, and so because those classes are wrapping up, we're going to take back over some of the subjects while they're on break from co-op. So we have a lot to do. So I'll be talking through some of this. I'll be sharing my screen. I do use an online homeschool planner to use as my printable planner or checklist, so I'll be sharing some of that. I have stacks of curriculum that I'm going through that I'm trying to get organized and ready. I need to organize binders. We're gonna do all the things. First thing is I needed to pick a moving beyond the page unit. I have a ton. I just made a video talking about how I went a little crazy and I bought all of these different unit studies for reading. I don't like any of them, even like getting into any of them, because I really like moving beyond the page. It worked for us. We know how it works, and I have a ton of them because I bought a ton last year, and so I just needed to pick one. So I want to say I picked Iggy's House. This was one we actually planned to do this year anyway, so I'm like, you know what, we'll just do it. And this is a book by Judy Bloom. I want to say it's about like a little girl who moves into a neighborhood and she's kind of having a hard time making friends. That's the gist I got from the book. So I use Moving Beyond the Page as standalone units. I don't buy their full years. We do one at a time. I do use them with both of my daughters, so I have a 5th grader and a 3rd grader. There may be a time where each of them do individual ones, but for this specific unit at this time, we're doing it together. So they each will have a copy of their book and we will work through the unit. I will do a full review. If you've never heard about Moving Beyond the Page or want to know more, I've done tons of videos on previous units that we've done, and I will have that playlist linked down below. So I need to get this planned into our homeschool, and then I'm going to put the rest of these units away. I may pick another one maybe like in a couple weeks that we'll start doing, but these normally last us about 3 weeks. One unit lasts us about 3 to 4 weeks because we only do it a few times a week. Another change that we are making, we're going to pause our IEW writing program. We've been doing it for the first few months of school. I think it's time to take a break. So because we're taking a break, we're switching back to our word roots for kind of like vocabulary, spelling, and our Beowulf grammar. I don't even know where my cover page is. Beowulf grammar. So with our Moving Beyond the Page reading unit, our Beowulf grammar, and our word roots, that kind of covers our language arts subject. So what I want to do is I want to make copies of all the work pages for word roots and print out the Beowulf grammar pages and get them all printed out for like the next month pretty much, and get them in my daughter's binders. So that is my goal today too, is I want to print out a lot of this stuff and organize their binders. So that's going to kind of be like our new flow. They're going to have like, I wouldn't call word roots and Beowulf independent. There are some teacher directions, but it is kind of like quicker kind of warm-up things. So that's going to be like our morning activities. We're going to do those 2 things the days we don't do handwriting practice. I'm talking through this. Like, I didn't have any of this planned. I mean, I had like general ideas, but I'm talking through this with you guys now. So if I seem all over the place, I apologize. But that's where my brain is. So I need to print out all of that stuff and get it organized. I need to get a couple books from the library for my son's kindergarten math. I did not realize that there were recommended books that go along with this. So I want to get the books, get caught up on the books that we kind of missed out in some of our lessons. I found some other cute like Thanksgiving and winter books too. I really want to get back into the habit reading picture books with him. So I need to go on the library's website and order them so we can go pick them up. I also needed us to get back on track with our science. We took a break from science because both my daughters were doing science classes in their co-ops, and I just didn't feel like they needed maybe like the confusion of like what we were doing in science. And there's only 14 lessons in this science course, so it didn't last us the whole year anyways, so there was no issue taking a break. And we stopped at like a really good point, so when we get back into this, we're going to go into kind of like the rocks and minerals section, and we're going to start like growing crystals and doing different activities. So I need to get this rescheduled, and then I need to check our activities to make sure we have everything that we need for the activities. I need to decide, because I am switching to Gather Round for history. I was going to wait until their sale, which is in 2 weeks, to buy the history unit, but they just changed it. So the history unit's called a mini unit, and normally with their full units, if you only buy one age level, so say you buy early elementary, if you just buy one age level, it's a lot cheaper, but they didn't offer that in the mini units. So the mini units, you only had the option to buy all age levels. Well, they just changed it, like just last week, where you can buy one age level of the mini units for $15. And so I have a million units I want to buy from them on the sale, but I figured I don't want my kids missing out any more history, so I think I'm gonna buy that, the US History 2 mini unit, because I'm gonna have both my daughters do the same age level and see how that goes. And so I want to buy that and print that out, I believe. And then I need to make a decision on Thanksgiving week if we're going to be using Gather Round's Thanksgiving unit. I also need to get that printed out and organized. So, ready? We're going to start planning. So we are in our Homeschool Planet account. This is an online lesson planner. I've done plenty of videos on it, so if you want more in-depth information on Homeschool Planet, I will link those videos down below. But this is what has been like my favorite new thing that we've added this homeschool year, because it really helps me stay organized quickly, efficiently. And so I am getting it back updated. We took a few weeks off. I don't have everything planned out because I wasn't sure how long we were going to be taking off. So I need to get us back organized for this upcoming school week so I can have our planner ready. So right now, kind of our standing is math and handwriting. Those things are just, we don't really skip them ever, so I didn't take them off the schedule. So just making sure that those are on there. I do need to add our science back in, so that is what I'm working on. So I'm going to find where, okay, so I had it blocked off for this week, but I want to move it back. So we are going to click on science, and we're going to edit this, and I want to change the schedule. Oops. Change schedule, add or remove individual dates. Yeah, so see how there's X's? I did this kind of just not really knowing what I wanted to do, so I'm going to add these back as days for school. Okay, so now our science is updated. Let's go back to week view. I hate month view. Okay. So, okay, this is this current week. So I moved up, we're working through lesson 5, the geosphere, and we have our activities. And then let's see. And then next week we have lesson 6. Perfect. So it looks like it updated perfectly how I wanted it to. So now what I'm going to do is I need to add in our reading unit study from Moving Beyond the Page. There are lesson plans you can buy for Moving Beyond the Page, but you have to buy the entire like year of curriculum, which is like, I don't know, 15 different units. And we don't use Moving Beyond the Page like that. We do standalone units. And so for this, I will have to add it myself, which is fine. I hope. So we're going to add a class, and we are going to add it as reading, and we're going to do Moving Beyond the Page. And oops, wow, Iggy's house. Okay, my daughters will do this together, Emma and Mila, and we're going to do selected days of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We're going to start the 14th, or 13th. Oops. Just move it that way, just in case. Okay. Okay, so, and then I'm just going to type all these manually. So, lesson complete, lesson 1. And I think if I do it in those little quotations, it should, oops. Oh, you have to use the brackets. Okay, so see, it does like kind of try to figure out what you're trying to do. Okay, but, okay, so it's gonna add 14 things. Okay, so the only thing though is lesson 9. There's 2 days, day 1. And then this will be lesson 9, day 2, lesson 10, and 11, and then complete final project, day 1, complete final project, day 2. So they kind of map it out, and because I've used these unit studies, I understand how they work. And so most of the time one lesson is 1 day, but sometimes it's broken into 2 days. So there's that. Chapter 1, because for this book, when we do lesson 1, we're reading chapter 1 on most of them until we get to, I think, 9. And then what I could do is I could come in here and like actually type in the assignments that we're going to do, but I don't want to do that. So we're going to save and close. And now we have that added into our schedule. All right, so I was just talking and thought I was screen recording for the past 15 minutes, but it was not recording the right part of my computer screen. So what I've been doing is I added in our Beowulf grammar, our word roots, spelling and vocabulary. I switched some of the days around, like I moved our handwriting to Thursdays and only once a week. And then I added in our US history. I purchased our US history from Gather Round. I was explaining how now, I hope you guys can see that I'm recording this now. Okay, so mini units are kind of all over the place with Gather Round. Like the St. Patrick's Day one is only like 4 lessons. It's meant to do like the week of St. Patrick's Day. The history are still 20 lessons, but they're very focused on history. There's not as much work in the workbooks for the students. So what I was explaining earlier is, so this is the one that I wanted to purchase. So what you can do is you can buy one age level. So they have like all these different age levels. You can choose to buy just one age level, which comes with that age level and the teacher's guide for $15. They just added this option because before mini units, the only option was to buy the full family bundle, which was $39. I'm at a place where both of my daughters can probably do upper elementary. They're 2 years apart, but they're very close academically, I would say, and especially like in history because we do it together. So I can get away with doing the upper elementary. Now, am I going to regret this in a couple years when maybe I want to repeat this with them at like a middle school or high school level? Yeah, probably. Or like, you know, my son, he needs to go through these lower levels, but at this point in time, I just want to pay the $15. So that's what I did. So I just bought the upper elementary bundle and got that. So that's what I was recording. I said that a lot quicker than in the 15 minutes in the previous recording. So I saved you guys some time. So I went in and just added the different lessons and the titles in here. so we know. So this is kind of what my month looks like. Obviously it's a lot bigger than when we first started. I do change it to planner mode, and so this was where it prints out from my weekly checklist. So I print this out and I have this in our homeschool room, and I do physically check them off. I love my printed checklist, and so this is what I use in our homeschool week, and so this is why I get this prepared and ready. Now I only print 1 week at a time, and I will come in here and make changes. I only really got super detailed scheduling out through December, but I can still be flexible. I can still change things around if need be. So I feel good. We have our math, we have our language arts, our science, our reading, and then our history on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So I feel great that I got all of this scheduled. Now I have a ton of copying and printing to do because I hate doing that in our school days, because it definitely makes some frustration. So I'm going to switch the camera back around and do that. All right, camera's back around. So that was a lot. And I'm glad the recording cut during when it did, because I was complaining a lot because I was doing a lot of manual work. So you guys got to miss out on all of that. So anyways, I just printed out my schedule. What's also nice is because I put the specific page numbers I need, like in Word Roots and Beowulf Grammar. Beowulf Grammar is digital, thank goodness. So I'm going to print those pages out. So each of my daughters needs a copy. I'm going to print all of those pages out. I'm going to try to do it for at least the month. Actually, I'm going to try to do it for the rest of the year. So it's like a month and a half for the rest of the year, which is crazy. So I'm going to do that. And then Word Roots, just so you know, does have a digital copy. And if you're using it with multiple kids, or you don't want to use the workbook itself, buy the digital copy. When we use the next levels of Word Roots, that's what I'm going to do. Because right now, because both of my daughters need it, I need to make copies of it. And so, as you can see, these are the copies I made last year. I have to rip them out, and they're, front and back. So I have to do the front side and the back side. And so that's going to take me a little bit. So I'll probably do that fast. I bought the Gather Round unit, so I need to print the teacher's guide and the student workbooks, which that is a lot of printing. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make my printer get to work and start printing out and making copies of everything. All right, so my printer is still super busy printing. So the Beowulf Grammar workbooks are printed. I'm printing the Gather Round history student books now. I think I'm going to try to use the teacher's guide digitally. I actually just bought a TV screen, like a smart screen, and a TV stand. I've been wanting it for our homeschool room. I saw it somewhere. I didn't even know these TV stands existed. Basically, it holds like a TV screen freestanding, so it doesn't have to be attached to a wall or anything. And then I found like a 32-inch TV for like $80 on Amazon, which we don't need anything special, but as I look more in our homeschool, my kids use IEW. They watch a lot of YouTube videos with like our unit studies, the teacher's guide. Having those things visually on like a large screen, I think is going to be very beneficial. Right now they just watch it on my iPad, which they do it, but it's not big. And so I definitely needed like a bigger screen for our homeschool area. So I just ordered that on Amazon. I think the TV screen is going to take a few days to get here. So once I have that, I'll probably do like a new tour with our homeschool area, because I'm really excited. But I'm going to try not to print the teacher's guide, use my iPad, use the TV screen once we get it, to do that digitally. And then they'll have their student workbooks that are printing right now. So I'm printing the two biggest things first, and then I'll start doing the copies. I need to hole punch and then organize their binders. All right, so I have two piles of everything printed. So here is the Moving Beyond the Page activities, Word Roots, history, and Beowulf Grammar. So this took a lot longer than I anticipated. So I have them ready for tomorrow. We need to hole punch them and then get their binder set up. So we're actually just going to do that during our school day tomorrow. I'll have the girls help me with it. I have all my teacher's guides over there ready for tomorrow. And then I have our weekly homeschool planet like checklist. So I keep this with my teacher guides, and this is what we use throughout the week so we all stay on track. So I hope you guys enjoy kind of seeing a glimpse what I do to prepare for a week. Obviously I did a little bit extra than just every week's prep because we've been off school. I'm trying to get everything ready for the end of the week or the end of the year. We have some new curriculum going on, but pretty much I spend, you know, the day where the kids are not doing school, getting everything ready. So tomorrow we know what to do. We're prepared. I wish I would have got these hole punched in their binders, but I figured too it might help them seeing it and organizing it so then they know like what tabs they're setting up for their binders. So we'll do that tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more planning, organization videos, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. And if you're not already, please hit that subscribe button. It really does help support my channel and it costs you nothing. Thanks guys. Have a great day. Bye.